Everybody thumbs. Boop, boop, boop. Amazing. Okay, so I'll do a very short recap just because we tied a bunch of stuff up yesterday. If only it was that soon. You guys decided as a group you were going to leave Calcariat for the sandy shores of Ashissel, where Ellie's parents have recently relocated after some disruption in Afrana, where Valis grew up for the majority of his childhood, and where you'll be able to get some...
You mean Asana?
I said Ashissel.
I thought you said Afrana.
Yeah, because they escaped. Lily's parents, not
sorry.
Lily's parents.
Earlier.
Ellie's parents escaped Afrana. Yeah.
I've never been there.
No. Ashissel, where Valis grew up partially in his childhood, and where you'll be able to find some answers for Erwin, who has a dark secret, which you are only just beginning to catch hints of. But
necromancy.
Potentially. A high Solarian is there where you will be able to take part in learning, advancing your skills, and so on and so on. But before you can go, you guys head around Calcaria and finish whatever it is you need to do. Zarina left you guys in the previous session, meaning you only had your own stuff to deal with, tidying up. You went to Kyvir's sigillary to get a sort of a read on what happened with the hair that Valis was able to bring back from where? I'm not 100% sure. It just turned up in his hand at one point. As you spoke to Kyvir, he revealed that the hair had been touched by the negative energy plane, seeming to originate from somewhere in that realm. And its existence also excited him because he is part of an order known as the Order of the Third Eye, a group of mages who follow Savras and who were formed after the fragmentation to try and prevent any horror of the sort happening again. They were formed following the teachings of the cleric Sliansun Talar, who became sort of the pinnacle of her like she's a level 20 cleric, guys, and inspired a lot of followers to try and kind of keep the peace of the planes.
So they follow Savras and Slea's teachings.
Yeah. And this connects academics, mages all across the world. So that would be from the University in Akiriri in Eurasia, the High Solarian in Asana, in Viseros. Everywhere there are people who are seemingly dedicated to this task of keeping the planar system safe, and part of their mission was discovering exactly how the planar system worked, with two schools of thought, one thinking that there is a stack of planes and you can go up and down, which seems to be what is believed up until this point, and the others sort of seeming to be that there is a space, a wild space, referred to as the negative energy plane, through which you can access a whole plethora of domains, some of which are even unknown to us now.
So we have flat earthers, but in this world it's like stack planers.
Yeah. You got stackers. Yeah, stackers. Most of the people in the world at the moment are stackers because of the obvious. You can get from the material plane to the Feywild and the Underdark, and then through the Underdark you can get to the Hells and the Shadowfell, and then through the Feywild you can get to... Yeah. Makes sense, right? Stackers. But the Order of the Third Eye, they're spaces.
I guess all of it would be wobbly.
Timey-wimey. Anyway, you learn this information. You then all together head over to Ashissel, where you hope to find Valis, at the very least, a reprieve from some of the horrors that have been following you around, your curse, your awful exes, and so on.
Some of those might be in the top.
Roland decides to stay behind to look after your troop, but promises to come and find you once they have fully settled in Calcariat. Colin is still seemingly being rescued by not the sisterhood. Could you imagine? That's not a rescue, that's a kidnapping.
By the mask.
and you haven't heard any update on that yet. And you guys move on to a Schissel. You meet Corvius, who sort of gives you all a place to stay. And you meet again Ellie and Valis' friend Mikai, who invites you all to a party, which turns out to not be as fun as maybe some of you were hoping, Valis, as you have a slight mental breakdown.
She's so creepy.
And when Valis has a sleep attack and you guys take him away, Yanel reveals to you that they have decided to break up once and for all. And you all head back.
Wait, sorry, has break up with
Valis.
Yeah, okay.
They've broken up once and for all.
And they've been broken up for about 2.5 years.
But they're broke now. It's real. They're really broken up now. And you guys head back to the High Solarian, where you all sleep in a cuddle puddle in Valis' room. And that is where we wake up the next day. All of you guys are sweaty and a bit gross from sleeping in such a massive pile, and the fact that Valis has a bit of a fever coming on. I'm going to keep the chat open so that I can see what Aylin's typing. And you all wake up and are able to take the benefits of a long rest in the High Solarian.
And we're level 4.
You're level 4. I'd love to know what you guys chose. I know that Aylin chose ASI. Lily, what did Valis go for?
Aylin's character learnt American Sign Language.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So that expels.
Ah.
Don't worry, take your time. It's all good.
I chose sharpshooter feat.
Brilliant.
So now I can do long range and short range shooting very well.
Yeah.
I think I took an ability score
Nice.
increase. I can't remember what I increased. I think it was
Nice.
intelligence.
Great. Okay. Fab.
We need intelligent people in this party.
Yeah. Ellie also did intelligence. You guys are getting smart, and I like that because you're at the High Solarian and your minds are opening.
Not Valis.
Maybe not then. He's like,
Yeah.
my guns are getting easier to shoot.
Yeah, you guys were all studying and he's in the target range.
Either way.
Is Valis still sort of like warm to the touch?
Yeah. You would say so. And Valis, you wake up in a state of disorientation. Ellie, Oren, you guys can kind of like help him up. You know, he was in a bit of a sorry state before. Yanel goes and makes you guys all tea, coffee, whatever you need to.
Yeah, no, not tea.
He's like, all right. Makes you all a cup of coffee to take the edge off of the hangover.
With that weak shit.
Also looks a bit. And you guys sit in Valis' room, waking up, and Yanel says, Yanel says to you all, as much as I love partying, I don't want to drink that heavily for a while yet.
I only had like 2.
You passed out like you'd had 10. Do you get drunk, Oren?
I can't remember, Emma. Have I somehow had incredibly lucky rolls when it comes to constitution?
I think you've had incredibly lucky rolls. I think if you you can infuse.
We can turn Oren into a jelly shot.
Oh my god! Yanel's like, please don't do that.
I'm not for consumption.
What if we like break off a little bit of you? What happens? Does it become like your child?
Oren, you don't know. Actually, you genuinely don't know that.
It pauses and thinks for a bit, like, I would have heard of this osmosis thing, right?
Yeah.
But I haven't, as to my knowledge, I have not experienced this in memory.
No, as far as you're aware,
just appeared?
You know as a player
Mm.
that these things happen, but
Yes.
it's a little bit ambiguous. You don't know anything really other than what you've been able to ascertain through just existing about who you are, what your creature type is.
I'm sorry to say I don't know anything.
And they were way to find out.
Oh,
Several ways,
and
I heard.
you guys hear from outside as you're sort of all just drinking your coffee, crashing sound and like, oh, Jesus, God, no, who's Jesus? As you hear a telltale sound of rustling feathers and from beyond Vals's door.
Oh, it's Kevin.
Kevin.
Yanel goes to open the door, and behind it you see Corvius being kind of dive bombed by Kevin, who is trying to scratch at his ears.
Kevin, come here.
Fuck off!
Kevin. He grabs Kevin.
And he kind of like fights, and then sort of eventually will just like unhappily sit on your shoulder. And Corvius is like, that's a cursed bird. Horrid thing.
I know.
Ought to be turned into supper.
No.
I'll have magpie pie.
What do you say to that, Kevin?
Fuck you.
See? He's not happy with that.
No. Corvius settles down and says, well, now that wretched business is over.
Good morning.
Good morning, yes, indeed. I thought I'd come in and check, as you had a good night's rest, I see, all in the same bedroom. Not sure about all that. I did set up specific separate rooms for you so that you might all be comfortable, but if you would prefer, I can get rid of those. Anyway,
No, it was a one-night thing.
Oh.
I had a sleep attack.
He immediately changes tone. Oh, you're right, boy.
Yeah. It's a bit hot.
Sure. Well, there is an infirmary if you would like to take advantage of that. I came to just let you all know about a couple of things. First of all, that Erwin is in the depths of their apprenticeship now and is going to be spending a little bit of time with me today in hopes of furthering their non-arts focused studies. The necromancy is... You'll never get a job if you're in that field.
There's quite a few people who want to bring back the dead.
Well, it's not about bringing back the dead. It's about understanding life and death. Valis.
I thought it was about making zombies go.
There are always certain possibilities, but those possibilities ought to be explored and not exploited, if you ask me.
I don't get it.
Well, you're not a necromancy student, are you? Are you? No, you're not.
No, I did engineering.
That's what I remember now. Anyway, and Yanel said, I did arcane medicine. And Corvius is like, well, it's a little bit necromantic, but whatever. Anyway, and he says, I have made good on my promise and set up a meeting with you, for you, with Horus Mensej, who will happily hear what you have to say about your discoveries. And if all goes well, he may be able to assist you further, but I can't make any promises. Kaivir...
6'2". I don't believe it.
I would say he's pushing 6'1". And his guy gets shorter and shorter every session. Yanel says, he feels like he was 6'2", but maybe I was just...
Oh, does he, does he? Why is that?
Gives you a strange look. No reason. I just don't really remember. Don't remember him being tall at all. But maybe he was. Who knows? And Corvius just says, regardless of what he looks like, he is willing to meet with you. This I have permitted for you, and of course, along with
Molted and got taller.
Well, I'm not sure about you, Auntie, but us.
Do you guys molt? I was like, that's sick.
Well, Yanel just like gently pokes one of your scales to see if it'll flake off.
What do you do with the skin after though? Do you like preserve it or eat
My
it?
horns melt. And Corvius then says, oh, well, you see, your anti-skin can be powdered down into a powder to create poison, paralytic poisons. Did you not know?
No.
No, but it is a delicate process, one you could learn about whilst here, if you're interested, Ellie. And he says...
powdering Ellie's skin.
Only if you want to. I'm not forcing anyone to do anything.
Okay.
And he says, would you like to meet him? Okay.
Sure.
Yes.
Wonderful. And you guys make your way towards you guys make your way downstairs and find Corvius's study has been set up around sort of table with there is a little breakfast here for all of you, and you guys can all sit down and have a munch, whatever you want. It's just a little spread, and Corvius kind of just like flits about getting a few extra tables, extra chairs in to fit you all when there is a knock. A curt knock at the door. Valis, I think you probably noticed that Yanel looks a little bit like on edge by all of this. If you want to learn more, maybe an insight check would be useful.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got my new handy dandy notebook.
Mm-hmm.
Insight. 15.
15. Since Horus has been mentioned, you can tell they've been a bit on edge. It's specifically to do with him. You know that they maybe met once or twice back in the Messiah, but no more than you yourself met him. Beyond that,
Okay.
the connection is unclear.
He kind of looks at them like,
they just give you a sort of smile and avert their eyes, and they also look a bit sheepish, you think, maybe because of everything that happened in the previous day or two between you. And the door opens. Corvius lets in especially Ellie. I think you would find this surprising, considering the academics you've surrounded yourself with in your life. A surprisingly young man. For being the head of an order such as this. He wears a long green robe, indicative of the Mensej kind of colours, at least what you would know from your research and from living in the Messiah and Erasure Valis. He has these kind of shoulder pauldrons, which seem to be more like ceremonial and ornate than actually functional armour. His hair is black and tied in a bun just at the back of his head, and he has a sort of sensible look on his face. He's not a great beauty, but he's not unattractive, and he looks. Actually, I have art. I'll show it to you. I don't know why I didn't just do this right off the bat. Do. Let me just really quickly.
you got art of him?
I do have art of him. Hang on. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Sorry. Let me screenshot.
Discord or WhatsApp?
I'll put it on Discord so that Aylin doesn't have to click away. And bow, ba, ba, bow, ba, bow, ba, da, ba. I don't know why those songs are in my head at all.
Because they're good.
Yeah.
Like little jukeboxes.
Hang on.
What?
This is what he looks like.
Ah. He's got the ears.
Mm-hmm. Horus Mensej. And he comes in and gives Corvius a smile and a nod and looks over, and the first thing you notice is his eyes fix on Yanel with surprise. He knew that they were going to be there, as obviously Corvius introduced the team of you all but he still looks shocked to see them. And then Valis as well, and then the rest of you. And then he smiles, nods, and just says, so... Is that really what you open with?
He mutters under his breath.
Right. So, you are the ones who intend to challenge exactly how we see the planar system.
Oh wait.
Well,
I don't think it was intentional, but
perhaps not. And he pulls a chair and sits down, sweeping the sleeves of his robe to the side. Corvius here clued me in on exactly what you've been up to, or at least as far as I know what you've found over the last few weeks. Especially you. And he looks at Ellie. You are in possession of something that, as far as I'm aware, has been touched by the negative energy plane. Is that true?
It's the stone you liked.
When he sees the stone, Ellie, as you whip it out, his eyes widen, and Valis on your shoulder, Kevin, like kind of ruffles his feathers and just caws. And Corvius sighs and says, "Does the bird have to be involved in every super secret private meeting that we have?"
It's just a bird.
Birds aren't always just birds. Birds can be
Where's my bird?
familiars.
Well, what did you say, Kevin? Cause?
He just says, no, he goes, caw, like as in he caws.
Oh, he caused.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you on about, Kevin?
Fuck off, he says. And Corvius looks even more upset, like, animals can work for those who don't have our best interests at heart, I'm sure you know.
Right, he puts Kevin on the desk and like shines a light. Who are you working for?
Fuck off.
Well,
Go to hell, mate.
Go to hell. Yeah, he only has about 4 lines.
Mm.
Sometimes he's more coherent.
Oris nods and says his name was Kevin.
Kevin.
He leans forward. Dear bird, perhaps it's best if you make yourself scarce. I believe you can understand me. And the bird just flips him the bird with his feathers somehow.
How's my house?
oh,
Right.
impressive.
If anyone was working against us, I believe it would be in my power and the power of my team, my order, to find and vanquish them.
Ooh, big talk.
Well, is it not assuring to you that you are amongst some of the best and the brightest talent being in the High Solarian, with the assurance that if things prove positive between all of us, you would also be able to make great progress in uncovering exactly what this is. You should have confidence in me.
Valis looks like he really wants to say something, looks at the group and is like, not going to say it.
I have been... He picks up the stone and examines it, and then it raises out of his hand with like a red kind of crackling light from his palm. He wears these gloves that have different runic symbols etched, like stitched into the fabric. And he raises it up and it sort of spins, and he says, I've been working with mages around the world to figure out how to traverse the planes through what I like to call the astral sea. The negative energy plane, I don't think it's encompassing enough. The astral sea, however, the sea is so unexplored. There is much we don't know about it even still. Does it not seem poetic to use the same language for this space that could be all around us even now?
His like poetic, verbose language, Valis's eyes just glaze over. He's like,
Yanel leans forward and just says, I think that this is a bit beyond our pay grade. I honestly...
You guys are getting paid.
I'm not getting paid. I don't need money. They laugh. And it's not your stone, it's Ellie's. She's kind of in control of how far this goes, I think. And Oris says, that may be the case. I can tell that I'm boring you both. He looks over at Ellie and looks over at Valis.
I imagine they've taken quills from the desk and they're just...
Right. The goal of my order is to go as far as possible, reach every corner of knowledge and make sure it is not left unturned. Stones such as this, you don't often come by. I will buy this from you.
There's a bit of a problem with that.
I can pay.
Oh, no, it's not that we can, give it to you. It's just that stone really likes Ellie.
What do you mean? He looks at Ellie. You can try to sell it, he says. I mean, I'm willing to name a price.
What?
We could test it out for... Oh, no, but if it works, then we put a low price. But...
He looks at you, Oren, and says, are you a plasmoid?
A what?
A plasmoid.
He knows what that is? Oh my god. I don't know this word.
You don't know this word, no. I think that almost sort of sidetracked by how intrigued he is, he almost loses track of the conversation, just says, it's a creature type. Humanoid, or, well, with an intelligence, and a spirit, a soul, I suppose. We will discuss it later. I can show you what I know, but honestly, to the matter at hand, will you sell it to me? And if Ellie says what she says in the chat, which is that they would sell it and then give the money back if it doesn't, if he can't keep it, then he would say, well, is it attuned to you somehow?
She did like it.
Right. Of course.
But so did I, and it didn't follow me around. So
you licked it and now it likes you. Right. He sort of hesitates.
Causation.
That is a problem.
Correlation.
I don't know if there is a correlation because we just don't know enough about this place, this plane. And I understand experimenting in the name of science. I've too have licked my fair share of rocks and tasted my fair share of ingredients. But if you can't be parted from the disc, that is a problem.
guess we have to sell Ellie with the stone.
It's like a Wattpad fanfic. I was sold. He holds up his hand. I have no interest in owning people by any means. But he looks very torn. Who are you, Ellie? Or what is your, and Oren, he would say as well, now that I'm assuming he's heard your name at some point here. What are your, I hate to say the word credentials in an academic scenario. Are you adventurous?
I guess I am an adventurer now, but I am a musician by trade.
Corvius just mutters, the arts, in the corner. And if you say you're an archaeologist, Oris kind of like goes from fear at the sound of the word musician and then says, right, okay.
Learned company.
I can work with an archaeologist. And Valis Malel,
Elliot's attempting to flirt with Oris.
Oh wow. Oh. He says an archaeologist. Interesting. He looks intrigued by you. If you invoke a flirtatious tone, roll me a charisma check, just to see if he's interested. And whilst you're doing that, Oris would say to whilst you're rolling a charisma check, Aelin, Oris would say to 17, he would just be like, must stay on task. Let me just...
Must stay focused, brothers.
Must stay focused, brothers. He blushes, I'll say. And then he would say to Valis, and honestly, the fact that I know you best does not tell me anything about your skills.
I can show you my skills.
What do you do?
Well, he looks at Oris. I make things.
You make things? What do you make?
You know, he hold out his hand. Give me the little one.
They pass you the little death, I assume?
No, the little statue that he's made to them.
Oh. They pass it over to you.
It's a tiny little monster that's cobbled together from like different metals and gears, and he just puts it in front of Oris. He's like,
does it do a little walk on the table?
Yeah, it kind of toddles around and then falls over, and its wheels keep spinning. I make things.
Also a member of the arts.
He looks at it.
I assume that, yes.
And then looks back at Ellie. So you're an archaeologist? No, he looks at Corvius. He has a degree in engineering. Right, okay. This is going to be incredibly unusual.
Gives you an back of the statue.
Thank you, Valis. Puts it in their pocket. I have a degree, if you care about what I think.
They only got a 2-1 though.
Yeah, I wanted to enjoy myself as well as learning, and now I'm glad I did, because I've not enjoyed myself once since.
And Valis will give you the statue before it goes back to,
What?
I wanted to look at it.
Okay, fair. Oren, you take the statue and have a little look at it. It just kind of wobbles.
Mm-hmm. He kind of writes it, it starts toddling up your arm. He's like, you can keep going forever.
Forever?
Yeah.
My God. No batteries, nothing? Just momentum?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. He says, my field of research was in transportation. Erasure has a very unique transportation system, as I'm sure you're aware. And in my youth, and as part of my mage training in the University of Akiriri, I took a sort of wanted to take a front-running role in innovating the vessels used to get from A to B. The channels themselves, the druidic magic, brilliant and indicative of His Majesty Ulster's sovereignty and skill. But boats ran by oars and wind alone, I just thought, surely there's something better that we can build to move first. No.
He pokes him.
He doesn't say that. He said that Ulster's magic in making the channels is brilliant. But the fact that they're using simple like rowboats and cargo vessels, like regular sailing vessels, he's suggesting that there is a better way to innovate those.
He's just going to take the piss out of everything.
Sure. He says. And he says, I thought perhaps imbuing magic into those ships would make them move further, faster. And after hitting a few bumps in my research, I finally made a breakthrough. And not only that, I developed something entirely new, something that could fly. Not on my own steam. I had a lot of help, other mages, throughout the world came together and lent their support. And now we have what we believe could endure planar travel. I call it a spelljammer.
Oh, what now?
Spelljammer that uses magic to theoretically transport you through the astral sea. It's theoretically.
If it flies, is there the theory that somewhere up in the sky is a thinning of the plane, and then we can go through that?
One of our mages was an Aarakocra who was interested in reaching the air elemental plane.
Was an Aarakocra?
Fortunately, it flew a bit too close to the sun. That was me. That wasn't Horace. He flew a bit too close to the sun.
Was his name Icarus?
His name was Icarus. He says, looking for the air elemental plane. He flew up, and when he came back, he had an essence of something about him. Something
death.
Touched by, perhaps, what you might call death, or what some might call negative energy. And we thought, if there's a way we can get there, well, who knows? So, magicians can fly, dragons can fly, sphinxes can fly, but biological matter wasn't holding up for what we needed.
So does this thing work?
Oh, that's a very good question, Valis. I believe if we found a way to combine this stone with my creation, it could work.
So we need Ellie to put stone in your contraption.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, he says. I am not particularly keen on using untested metal, adventurers.
I love untested metal.
You or all. He seems to hesitate.
What is... I don't know what that acronym means. I'm sorry.
Down to fuck and find out.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I knew it. I like acronyms. And the good one. Ellie's like, Ellie, Oris gives you a look and says, as much as I appreciate that, and I think you are all skilled, you would not be here if you weren't. I can't help the fact that you came across these things and these discoveries, not by research mostly, but by luck, it seems. It stuck to you because you licked it. You found this hair because Kyvia says it came to you. And as much as I appreciate the weight these lend to my research, the research of our entire order, I'm not willing to send you on our most valuable piece of machinery without testing you first. This has been years in the making. You have to understand.
I want to make sure that it's acknowledged. Were you made aware from what Corvius told you that we've seen another one of these discs at a circus?
He looks at Corvius and looks back and says, I was made aware of this. I'll just say, if others are seeking what it is that we also seek, I'm not exactly going to get in the way of their research. I'm not going to get in the way of their goals. I believe subtlety, a covert approach, keeping this in this room as much as we can and amongst our order would serve us well. If there are others using materials like this to teleport, first of all, we can't be certain that they're using them to go through places, the astral sea, until we see it for our own eyes. We only have theories.
So you want to test us
It does not matter to me whether someone else has made the same discovery that we can use this, points to the disc, and then passes it back to you, Ellie, to travel from A to B. It only bothers me that you all have come to me untested as far as I'm aware.
Okay, so what's the test?
Well, we're in the High Solarian. There is no better place
I don't do
to...
written exams.
We're not doing...
I have a pass.
What about a practical exam?
Okay.
Not going to make you sit down and recite runes or anything of the sort. The High Solarian has a research... Commit science! I love that. The High Solarian has a research department, which contains some of the brightest minds. Why don't you make yourselves known to the academics there? I will ensure that they are willing to take you on as assistants. And once you've gained their confidence, one way or another, you'll have gained mine.
By being an academic assistant?
Oh, Valis, the High Solarian. The academia here, I'm sure you remember. It's not all pen and paper.
Yeah, I didn't show up to most of the classes.
You're just naturally gifted.
Yeah.
Some might be jealous of that. But he says they're always looking for people to assist them. If you become those people, then I think we have something here.
All right, little guy. We'll go be academic assistants for a week.
That suits me just fine. He stands.
Vala stands, and you can see that he's just measuring.
6'1". If it matters to you.
Vala's is wearing his platform shoes.
6'1", if it matters to you. You know, size. And he says, well, I won't take up more of your time. You know my requirements. If you meet them, we can go further in this. And if not, then just know I appreciate what you've brought to me and you will be rewarded for it. That can be a monetary reward or access to whatever you need in the High Solarian. But if you are going to be joining us, then I would withhold those things until we have a bit more of an agreement and something written on paper. Mm-hmm. Thank you. And he nods to Corvius, smiles to you all, and gives you a strange look, Ellie, unsure if he's still a little bit like, they were flirting with me. And then leaves, heads to the door, and you guys can stand, and Corvius just says, well, if you like, I can take you to the researchers and you can see what business they need help with.
He's so patronising.
Yanel says, yeah, just one sec. I'm going to just quickly, and they head out the door and just quickly follow after him. And the door shuts, and Corby says, oh. Researchers?
Fine.
All right. Does know this place and where we would be heading?
They also studied here, and I presume they all know where they're going. I'll find them later if not. And you guys can head out of the High Solarian. Corvius's tower leads to a main hall with a kind of like balcony that rings around with two staircases that sort of like twist down deeper into the main body of the High Solarian. They never cross at any point, but you can see the other staircases as you descend. There are students milling about. Every time they see Corvius, they kind of bow deferentially. And just before you take the stairs, heading down, I'll wait until Lily comes back. I think it might be relevant to... Okay. Okay. Just before you head down the stairs following Corvius and going against the grain of the students as they head to their classes, you catch a glimpse of Yanel speaking with Oris on the other staircase across the tower. That's about it, unless you want to investigate further. You keep going further down.
Oh.
Yes.
am one of my feats that I picked from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Is where is it? Wait, where is it?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you? Observant.
Is it the one? Is it observant? You can lip read.
Yes, I can. If I know the language they're speaking, though.
They seem. Unfortunately, I don't. Oh, yeah, it's such a good feat. They wouldn't be. They are from the same country, so they would be speaking a shared language. So unfortunately, I can't. I don't think it would work in this instance. But you observe them. That's all right. You sort of squint, lean over the railing, and squint, and you observe them long enough to know that they make me an insight check.
Excuse me. Oh, that's pretty good. That is. Come on, scroll for me. That's a 21.
Yeah, from here you can tell Oris is would have given Oris. Let me just check.
Give a look over to confirm flirting.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so they are flirting, but at the moment that's where they're leaving it. Understood. Okay. Oren, from your insight check, sorry, could you just remind me what you rolled?
21 insight.
Oof. Slay. With a 21, you can tell from their body language. Oris has quite a composed look about him. There's like a twitch under his eye. And Yanel looks a little bit uncomfortable and is just sort of like with their back to you talking to him. They eventually just like if he's standing here, they eventually just give him a pat on the wrist and then turn around. And they part ways.
Valis leans next to you, and is like, suspicious. I like it.
Mm-hmm. And Corvia says,
or them.
You're suspicious of the guy who's clearly not 6'2", because he's obviously a liar.
Well, I didn't know what he was saying, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want you to be on my side, or on my side.
Sorry, what was that, Corvius?
Corvius is like, hurry up, boys, and kind of encourages you downstairs. And you guys follow him through to a sort of more closed-off area, which seems to be less busy with the regular students.
What's your side, Valis?
Oh, Valis, what's your side? Yeah.
As you're walking, he's kind of parroting that aura and like literally just like push past, like, no, I'm not talking to you. He's like, well, I just think that he's weird. I think it's strange that I don't know, he lied about his height. You can tell there's a bit more to it.
Mm.
Yeah. Did he lie to us?
No, he lied to you. Well, there's been some misreporting about his height.
He gives me weird vibes. Okay, I don't know. I'm a vibes person. Ellie, I don't think you should hook up with him. It's my humble opinion.
Aren't being used properly. Yanel's like, none of his tools being used properly. Hi guys.
Hello.
Yeah, it gets weirder and weirder.
Let's keep walking.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little conversation later, aren't we? You have so much to tell me.
They give you a strange look. No, I don't. And then keep walking.
You kind of links their arms together. Oh no, but remember yesterday how you passed out? Yeah, tell me something, won't you?
No. Well, no.
Yeah, you were.
How's the demonic possession going, Valis, or whatever it was you said?
I'm not demonically possessed. A demon talked to me.
Oh yeah, Corvius. They say, a demon talked to Valis. And Corvius looks back and just said, well, peculiar, and then keeps walking.
Yeah, seriously.
Lots of demons and devils around this place. Oh, demons are a bit, they're a bit
more
unpredictable.
We don't know if they were a demon or a devil. We just know they had pointy horns and probably came from the house. They might have been a tiefling, You might be being racist.
They look at their hands. They feel their horns. Oh my god. Wow, Valis. I never ever thought that I myself could be capable. Dear God, I need to do some soul searching.
You really do.
I need to reflect.
Maybe you're a demon.
Maybe I'm a demon. They break their arm and just keep walking. Oren, I find you more interesting right now than Valis. How are you?
He just leans into Ellie. He's like, it's just you and me against the world now.
Oh, Oren, look, one of my ribbons has just been absorbed into your... You.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. I know that Oren's not your nose type.
You guys carry on into this, what looks to be a series of offices, for lack of a better word, laboratories even, which are staffed by really tired-looking academics in like robes. They're all drinking like gallons and gallons of coffee, spiked with potions of like endurance, potions of wakefulness.
That's what happens if you don't do the arts.
Mm-hmm. There's like a little stand with like a attendant behind it, who's like a halfling who has little potions that they're clearly like giving out to everyone. It's like a coffee stand, and just making sure that everyone's staying awake.
Is the coffee from a particular supplier?
The coffee is from a particular supplier. It's Uruk's Crazy Coffee, just so you know.
Yeah, Valis glares at the coffee and he's like, yeah, I'm going to get one. He goes over.
Yeah. You guys see one of the attendants behind Uruk's Crazy Coffee just says, best beans this side of the world.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Would you guys like a spiked coffee? Yeah. You can choose what goes in it.
What are the options?
The options are, hang on a moment. Potion of wakefulness. You can't be surprised until your next long rest.
I already have that for the feet.
Oh, shame. Then there's also a potion of healing, which will give you 5 extra temporary HP.
Do they have any like potions of cooling?
Potions of cooling. They look a bit confused and say, we could do iced coffee.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, they do an iced coffee, and they whisper to you, the big boss doesn't like it, but I think, yeah.
In fact, he leans in, I'll get 2.
Okay, you get 2 iced coffees, and you double fist them. Does anybody want a coffee spiked with either of those?
The iced coffee.
Takes one of the temporary HP. It's like, I think I'll need it. And Corvius just passes and says, well, I'll leave you to be acquainted with some of the researchers here. Just have a look around, see what intrigues you.
Emma.
What?
Can I, you know how I have the sending stones?
Mm-hmm.
Can I send an image?
Yeah.
A mental image?
Yeah.
I hold up my iced coffees. I take a mental image. I find my sending stone for Uruk and I send it.
Okay. You look at it closely.
Yeah, I get a nice close up of them.
Before you commit to that, let me just really...
It's going to cost 5 of your minutes.
He does it against like a plain brick wall with nothing in the background.
And you get an irritated message reply saying, where the hell are you and why are you drinking iced coffee?
He just holds up his finger in front and goes,
okay. And you are left, Corvius will introduce you to a couple of people. He introduces you to an older woman who is, looks like a very well-respected researcher, but she looks very, very like no nonsense, in and out busy. She has kind of wiry dark hair, which is like in a tight bun at the back of her neck. She's in her like early 60s, you would tell. Human, it seems. Muttering under her breath how she has no time, not enough time, stupid human lifespan. And she's like carrying what seems to be a stack of papers in her arm. And she gives you a look over and just says, well, if I do need assistance, but I want to make sure that there can be...
You need help carrying?
Corvia says, that's not exactly, and she's already piling stuff into her arms. And Oran, you've been claimed, it seems, for the next 10 minutes or so to be a paper boy. She says, I hope not.
I can choose. Anyway.
You see a couple of younger, what seem to be like adventurer types, trailing behind an older man. They seem to have a family resemblance. Nepotism, Valis crosses your mind.
He looks between himself and Corvus and like,
yeah, and they kind of like disappear around a corner. They seem to have the telltale signs of monster hunters about them. Their gear, their what's it? Residue is an issue. I'm pretty sure. Strong. I'm pretty strong. Yep, this is also good. She kind of starts just passing papers between you as she puts them into a filing cabinet. Looking around, I'm going to just summarize it for you. There are a couple of researchers here. You spend the next 15 minutes or so just kind of like gently ingratiating yourselves to them. And they let you know what they're researching at the moment. The woman you spoke to is currently researching lycanthropy, especially lycanthropy related to a small town not far from Asana. The monster hunters are part of the Galanis family, a family of Gur, who live on the outskirts of Ashisel and ensure that basically they harvest ingredients by foraging, but also by finding and clearing out monsters from various locations. And they're currently kind of looking to clear out a den of, I would say, what would it be? A den of owlbears, not far from here.
Why would you clear out owlbears? It's just rude.
Feathers, they're useful. We're only going to get a couple.
I think that's cruel and unusual.
If it's so cruel, why don't you try it and see how easy it is to keep them happy?
The owlbears.
They're vicious, violent. Okay, right, we're in a scene. So you introduce yourselves to the family. They are a group of Gur. Gur are humans with a slightly extended lifespan, a little bit more durable. They all have... Where is mine? Sorry, I need my notes now.
Surely owlbears shed some of their feathers occasionally. Sorry, I'll keep helping. Yeah.
Okay, so you meet a man named
Go.
Go.
Sorry, no. Cassis. He has dark hair, kind of like just cut around his ears. He's wearing like adventuring gear, hunter's leathers in dark greens and browns. And he says, to your question, Oren, he says, well, that's the main thing that we do. We go to their nest, grab as many feathers as we can and get out. Fortunately, he got one of us. The moment an owlbear or any monster kills a humanoid, it gets on a list. And to be honest, it's really hard to get them off that list.
Sounds like you're provoking them by stealing their feathers.
Do you want potions of feather fall?
I can climb really well.
Not everyone else can.
Yeah. That sounds like it. No, I won't say that.
Look, if you have a problem, you can take it up with my dad, okay?
You have a dad?
Of course not. He's like, what? Sounds like the people are the problem. Look, they make their nests near settlements. Okay. We don't bother them until we need the feathers. I don't see what the problem with that is. If you have a better way to do it, you can try.
I can see the problem with that, actually. But I assume that the rate of finding feathers would be much less than retrieving feathers from.
He holds up his hand and he just says, look, regardless of your thoughts on the ethics, what we're doing is entirely legal. That owlbear killed someone. We're going to harvest what we can and make use of the body once we get it. It would be worse if we were killing it and letting it go to waste, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I disagree, but
Corvius seems excited. He just says, if you are so intrigued, why not make this part of your research? If you have a counter-argument, it is always best to follow through and show your workings. Horus might even find it more appealing that you took on your own mission.
I didn't think wildlife conservation was going to be on the list of things to do today.
I mean, Corvius just says, doesn't have to be. You can walk away. And Cassis says, yeah, you can walk away.
Yeah, but I heard you have a dad. He gives me a wink.
What the fuck are you going to do to my dad?
He just laughs.
Why the fuck you laugh? Right, fuck you. Fuck you, mate. And he like pushes you in the chest.
Kevin's here.
Kevin's like, fuck you! Kevin actually is sort of circling in the rafters. Ellie, if you make just during this fight, you're like, don't harvest during mating session. It could lead to aggression. And he's like,
You're saying he's in mating season?
Mm-hmm. He looks at Corvius and just says, can you tell these guys to back off? And Corvius says, actually, I think they're going to join you.
Yeah.
And Cassis is just like, what the hell's, man?
I thought we were going to have a throwdown.
He looks like he wants to. He's like itching for a fight. But then his eyes dart over to Corvius. He's like, joining us, really? Really? I see potential here. New minds, bringing in new ways to go about harvesting what we need. You're annoying, yes, Ellie, but you are helpful. And Cassis just throws up his hands and says, I can't complain, can I?
Well, you can. You could submit an official complaint to the office.
Maybe I will. Later, though. Right. Wait here. And he shrugs his bag, which you see is actually... Ellie, you having the most knowledge of these kind of more like natural finds, foraging, animals, rocks, all of that, you would notice that in his bag, he actually has a, what appears to be, the wings, like leathery wings of a strange creature that's kind of been furled up into two rolls. He's also got a sort of like a tin box attached to his waist, which kind of rattles as you move. And he says, I'm dumping this, and then we'll go and fucking...
What is it?
Wings. It's not a snack for later. No, if you ate these, you'd get vampirism immediately, dude.
Is it vampire?
Not anymore.
I didn't know vampires had wings.
Well, some do. Depend. Look, let me ditch these. And he goes into one of the research stores. You guys wait about 10 minutes and then comes back out. Doesn't know.
You get vampirism from either of them.
Don't. You wouldn't risk it. He seems incredibly frustrated.
Guy's got a stick up his...
And he says, they really have to come with me. And Corvius says, they're on your mission now, friend. I'll tell Horus. And faced by the names Corvius and Horus, he has no choice but to comply. And he leads you out of the High Solarian, all of you. And he says, right, before you're going on any hunts, we'll keep you up.
I got my own kit.
Well, you need to sign a waiver.
Right.
And then we'll go. And he leads you through the city. He takes you out to the outskirts, climbing up through the kind of like upper tiers of the city where they lead towards a bit more of a wild landscape. Away from the beach, this sort of plain sort of stretches out, and you see sort of patches of dry woodland, kind of like a few rocky outcroppings, a valley, which seems to have residences on either side, emerging in front of you. Yeah. And settled amongst the valley as you kind of get to the sort of the very reaches of the environment. You see what looks like a small stronghold, a manor with a wall around it, fortified, it seems, against monsters. There is a banner on the outside which shows the crossed stalks of an owlbear, of a beholder's eye, and an owlbear's feather. Cassis kind of approaches and kicks open the door and just says, "Get in." And this seems to be none of you have heard of this place before. This seems to be his home. Inside there is a small training ground with straw laid down. There are pelts kind of like furled, clearly ready for shipping out. There are racks of weapons, mostly hunting weapons, crossbows for distance and range, silencers for those crossbows as well, so the stealth can be prioritized. There are also weapons.
A crossbow?
Yeah. They're like little additions with a silence spell rune etched into the side. Okay. Oh, my phone's on a sleep mode for some reason.
Like, you're still asleep, right? No.
You can silence a crossbow. I think Oren's like, you can silence a crossbow.
You can silence a crossbow. And he says, hang on, I need to sneeze. No. Devastating.
Sorry, I jinxed it.
He says, well, you need to meet the crew, my family at least, before.
Oh yeah, your dad.
Know what's at stake, and don't fuck my dad, dude. He says to Valis.
Please don't.
Yunel looks bitter, and then
It's a joke.
yeah. And he disappears inside. You guys can acquaint yourselves with weapons. There is a strange kind of like bell noise from the gate, and three of the like kind of attendants out here are looking at it straight, like looking at it with like a weird like, huh. And there are a series of runes etched in various different languages, and beside each rune is a corresponding like mural of a creature. You see one is clearly a pixie. You see one is like a beast. Like a panther with its claws stretched out. You see a skull for an undead, and you realize these are all different creature types. Monstrosity, beast, humanoid, which is already lit up. And you see also fiend light up as well, with the sort of horned creature sort of illuminating in a kind of like a flashing red. And Yunel says, aren't tieflings considered humanoids?
It's got to be you know.
Mr. Demon, they say to you, as if.
I'm not a demon. A demon spoke to me. And he takes Yunel and passes them under the gate. See?
Mm-hmm. And as you kind of pass under the gate, the humanoid sign sort of lights up, but the demon sign kind of flickers down. And
wait, me or Yunel?
Both of you, all together. Going through.
Yunel, it's got to be you.
You've got to be me. As you go through together, the sort of the sigils seem to... Yes, Anna. Oren.
I know as a player that my creature type is an ooze. Do I see ooze? Do I get confused as to what is on the wall that is not?
I would say it's probably for creatures that they come across often, and I would say anything from the astral side of things probably has not been discovered yet, and therefore, whilst oozes of a natural sort of like type exist in this world, you are yet to exist. So you're unique, babe.
Yet to exist,
actually, but actually, Oren, this gives you a piece of information. You're none of these things. You aren't any of these things they can think of that goes on this wall.
When you said you're yet to exist, I was like, am I my own prophecy? Like,
oh my God, Slay, be your own prophecy. At which point, Valis, you notice that fiend sigil kind of go off. When you pass back with Yunel, you notice the human sigil go off again, and sort of a bit of, obviously you're Fae as well, but humanoid is sort of one, and then like elements of fiend and Fae and so on light up as well. But it doesn't light up with such strength as it did the first time you walked through.
Can I ask Yunel to walk through it again?
Yep, Yunel walks through. No, they just seem to be humanoid and that touch of Fae
can I walk through?
Humanoid with that like touch of fey, and there's like a little flash of fiend.
He
As you
looks
said,
around. He's just like,
inside of your party, you just see Oren, Kevin, Ellie, and
What happens when Kevin goes through?
yeah. What happens when Kevin goes through the gate?
Okay, you grab Kevin. He's like, "Fuck off now!
I
Fuck
push
no!"
Kevin through the gate.
Fiend.
He pulls Kevin back.
No!
He's like, Kevin.
No! Ah! And he kind of like struggles. Can you make a grappling check?
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, it's a strength check.
Yeah.
I think it's an 18. Yeah, it's an 18.
With an 18, oh, actually though,
It's like, come on, Kevin.
it's pretty neck and neck. He's sort of like struggling. You're managing just to hold him in place. Let me go!
Kevin, I'm not racist. I don't care if you're a fiend.
Let me go!
Why?
Just let me go.
But you're following me around and you're a little fiend.
Pokes you. And he now says, "Is this the demon that's been following you
I
around?"
don't know, Kevin, are you a demon?
Not saying,
No.
you bitch.
I root around in the dirt and pull up a worm. I'm like, are you a demon bird, Kevin? Are you a demon bird? Go on.
No, you won't make me confess.
He's like, come on, if you want it.
Confess to liking worms?
Okay. He says, before you can actually, I'm going to say, as construct. Yes, I understand. Construct. Brilliant. I'm just going to thumb that up. I think that would say, why doesn't Snack hold him in his mouth until he decides he wants to talk?
That's fair enough. What do you think, Kevin?
He looks down at Snack, who's just like.
Or you could tell us the truth, and I'll give you this worm, and you don't have to go with Snack.
How about this? I'm a fiend. I admit it.
Yeah, you admit it?
Yes. Let me go.
He's scratching.
Let me go.
I give him a worm. And launch him into the air.
He flies away. He flies away. Ellie, I presume Snack looks sad at missing out on his snack.
Are you worried about that?
Yes, Alice. Yes.
But it's just Kevin.
You got him from a strange man in a tent, and then you said a demon visited you.
Maybe.
Or a fiend. I guess you don't know
Kevin
which it
and
is.
the demon didn't really seem like the same person.
Right. Before you guys can take this any further, however, Cassis, from the entrance to his home, just says, "Get in here. Come on."
Off we go to meet Cass's dad. He walks his head.
Looks grossed out. You guys go inside. And inside the house it's practical. But it is clearly the house of someone who has a little wealth to their name. Nicely presented. There is dirt underfoot because obviously you get the impression a lot of people come through here, adventurers, monster hunters, and so on. It's large enough to house quite a few Gur, but the main family is sort of shown in a portrait, which sits over just in front of the entrance. You see a father and 3 children, it seems, 2 women and a man who resembles Cassis. All 3 have dark hair. One of the women in specific, she has kind of like a smile, like a brighter smile and a wilder look than the rest of her family. Her father is like a thickly bearded individual. Thickly bearded individual who's clearly he's not ridiculously tall, but he is clearly sturdy enough and has skin in the game when it comes to monster hunting. all through the house, you see taxidermied pieces of trophies of the different monsters that they've killed over their time. You see the head of a ghoul that has been taxidermied and stuck up on a plaque on the wall. You see a tanned pelt of an owlbear used as a rug to lead up to the office of this father. And you even see the preserved glass, sort of glassy eye of a beholder that is sort of presented on the wall. There are articulated skeletons, humanoid and otherwise. It seems that these people are successful and good at what they do. And what they do is hunt. And as Cassis approaches the study, he opens it up. And inside you find that exact man you saw in the portrait, poised over a fey doe, which he is currently skinning.
What the fuck, man?
He says, "Oh, come on in. Corvius directed you to join us, yeah?"
Miles is looking at the doe, just like,
It's game from the Feywild.
why would you kill a fey doe? They don't hurt anyone.
Hunting is also for pleasure, I hope you understand. And he kind of removes the leather gloves that he's been wearing and puts down the paring knife and crosses his arms and says, "You don't look like hunters."
Vars gets his gun blade out and smacks it on the floor.
Never mind, I stand corrected.
I prefer hunting people. Anyway.
For hunting people, unfortunately, that is where we draw the line. Monster.
Fey doe.
It's a good game. We have the money to travel to the Feywild, we might as well do it.
Vars looks disgusted.
Who do you remind me of? He sighs. Look, Corvius sent you, which means you must have some skill. Cassis says otherwise. But
Cassis doesn't know us.
He doesn't know you. I trust Corvius's opinion better than my own son's. How long have you been adventuring for? A while?
What do you count as adventuring?
Hunting.
Hunting?
You ever hunt before?
0.
Yeah.
0.
2 years?
Right. Ellie, would you hunt? Or would you say you hunted or no? No. Ellie's so cute.
I hunt knowledge.
He goes, right. And then just says, well, we have a waiver you need to sign if you're going to join on with us. We get first pillaging rights from all of the corpses. We know exactly what pieces to find and how to extract them. We don't want them being ruined. Anything else you can have. Of course, we don't eat the meat. That is a bit too much out of our pay grade. And you can learn on the job. As Ellie says, I'd love to learn that process. Harvesting from the hunt is part of the fun of it. But most needs to go back to the High Solarian. Why not eating the meat? Would you believe I'm a vegetarian?
No.
You can eat it if you want to. I just choose not to. Anyway.
Are we about to go Senshi? It's just it's all this meat. Yes, let's prepare this. Yeah.
15. Cass has put on a big show of, using the body, not being wasteful, but coming in here, actually seeing their family home. A lot of this is used as trophies and decoration. You get the impression he wouldn't want the carcass to be handled by anything that might accidentally disrupt its beauty. Does that make sense? Or hurt or destroy it.
It's just gives him the ick.
Says, I hate to be that person, but this doesn't exactly seem ethical. Hunting for food, for survival, yes. I don't know if hunting for trophies sits well with me. And the man just says, well, lucky for you, you won't be hunting for trophies. Hang on, just get it where you're saying. Yeah. Yanel gives you an appreciative look, Ellie, at that. And then he says, lucky for you, you're not going to be hunting for trophies. The hunts we do for the High Solarian are different. Turn them over straight away. And like I said, or I'm sure Cassis has told you, because he didn't say this, Keezy. Like Cassis has told you, we've got a big one coming up.
An owlbear.
What do you think of my home? Beautiful. Is it not?
Valis keeps his mouth shut.
His hand brushes something on the desk and he picks up what seems to be a photo frame. And he brushes
I think
along.
it is impressive in that it is impressive. It is impressing something upon us.
He smiles and he says, now you definitely sound like her. And he picks up that portrait on his desk and just kind of brushes his thumb over it. My daughter, Tara. She was like you lot. Never a hunter. Despite being a girl. It's in our blood a little bit, you know? But she's got in a bad crowd.
Of non-hunters.
Smugglers. Preferred the business of smuggling alcohol into the country. We all turned a blind eye. And then she got married. And she wanted to come back in our lives. And I wanted her. I love her. And I sent her on a hunt. She didn't come back.
Hunting what?
Owlbear Ballas.
Owlbear. Oh,
She made mistakes
recently.
Yeah. And we're hunting that owlbear. And you're going to help me. Isn't that right? She made mistakes. Tried to leave the family. Don't really care about the smuggling. Not really. It's the insult. Marrying some ship hand when she could have had her family.
I don't like this guy at all.
No. She was so good at what she did. Too good to be lost in such a way.
You know, kids are allowed to choose their lives outside of their family.
And look where her choice got her.
Well, you brought her back in. That's what killed her.
Interred in the family crypt.
Oh, yeah. I was about to ask if, like, there'd been confirmation that, like, she died. Yes, okay.
Are you going to help or not?
If it is what she would have wanted.
The head of that owlbear. That's what we want. And the rest can go to the High Solarian. What say you?
I'm really struggling, Emma. I don't think you'd want to participate in this, but this is a quest that we have to do.
It's not a quest you have to do. You guys are in complete control of what you want, what you do.
Vals looks really grossed out by this.
First of all, I would like to make it clear.
You only want the head, the High
for your
Solarian.
loss.
Thank you. Is getting the meat, the feathers, the other resources. Yes, this is a hunt for the High Solarian. The hunts they do for themselves, they like to keep the trophies and harvest the other ingredients. You get the impression from the way they're bottled up and jarred around the room that they sell them, or they donate them to the High Solarian to keep the contracts, keep the contracts coming. The hunts they do for the High Solarian, most of it goes directly to them first off, like the vampire bat wings, the teeth, which were in the box, which is what was in there. It seems that he wants to keep the head from this hunt, though. Just because it's on a list to be killed doesn't mean he can't take his dues.
Yeah.
And the name of the person you've met here, the people we've met here so far, is Cassis Galanis. This is the Galanis family of Gur. That's the son. And Artis Galanis is the father. Okay. Do you want to take this quest further? And I just want to say it's entirely up to you guys. It's entirely on you what you want to do.
I just, in this sort of very awkward thing of like, you've just lost your daughter, but like we don't want to participate in this thing. It's kind of like, what do we do? How do we get?
Okay, I think Artis would say, discuss it. You sign the waiver when you want to, and he allows you to leave and head outside if you want to. Yanel also looks grossed out, Valis, and says, I feel like this goes against my morals.
Yeah, I don't like this shit.
I understand.
I feel like there are healthier ways, perhaps, for a family to grieve. But there may not be much reception for it.
I've got an idea. He kind of looks around, he's like, let's go somewhere quiet. And he starts to walk back towards the gate.
You head back towards the gate, yeah?
And once they get outside, he's like, what about we find the owlbear and relocate it ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a scout. I can track.
Grins.
Hey, Emma.
Yes.
I assume that my song of creation cannot create a convincing-looking owlbear head.
Okay.
I mean, like that is.
You could create a working trampoline. So I think an owlbear head, if you've seen an owlbear before, is the key question.
Oh yeah, actually I probably haven't. But what is the restrictions on it?
Good plan.
Where are you?
Yeah, Yanel looks pleased with this.
Alright, so we find the owlbear. Hopefully don't die. Should be fine. Tell it to toddle off because a group of Gur are coming after it and it's going to fucking die.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get you, pointed Oren, to make a fake head. Sky backs off. Problem solved.
Yep. Sounds good.
The item only lasts for 2 hours.
I think that Yanel would say, well, why don't we, once we've cleared it off, leave something for them to find, a fake owlbear head. It might give us a bit of time to get it further away.
Shall we try and locate an already dead owlbear that's only just died?
Let's see what's there when we get there.
Right. Owlbear tracking. I can do that.
Okay. So, as you guys head out of the Galanis family, kind of like manor.
This was a request from the High Solarian.
Yeah.
For owlbear.
Yanel says,
we would not be able to
we should
fulfill
question authority at every turn.
I agree.
I say, as a regent of a country.
It's the simpler thing to not accept this.
It may be simpler, but I think if you guys are all on board, I think Alice's plan makes sense. I don't want to see more unnecessary death.
They want the feathers, right? We're going to an owlbear hideaway. We'll pick some off the floor. They don't need to kill them.
It's true.
Okay.
Okay, you guys head out. Let me just make sure I haven't missed anything.
Should I make a survival check to track this owlbear?
Sure, you can. If you like, you can also investigate anything in the surrounding. You can
Yep.
in the home
Should
or
I
the
roll?
manor
Do you want to roll
to
twice,
see
or
if
do you want to roll, Ellie?
I would like to give
I have a +4.
Valis.
before you announce it.
I'd love to give someone a bardic inspiration, so maybe I'll whip out Vinkin's little lute and go, Valis, you can survive for us. That is a D6, and you're rolling a check.
Yeah. That's an 18 with assistance.
So the inspiration can be rolled again, and you can choose which roll to use if you like.
Cool. So it's an 18 with the bardic inspiration then.
All right.
Okay, with an 18, I think.
You just play the music whilst he's like on the ground, like.
You and Ellie get on your knees and start like just kind of. And you see a lot of people give you a strange look, but
They'll do this when they've left the area, obviously.
As you head towards the wilderness, because the good thing about the Glanis family house is that it is poised right on a track which heads up towards the wilder areas of Ashissel. There is harsh undergrowth. There are copses of trees and so on, which lead you away from civilization. You see in the first hour or so of sort of like tracking the occasional homestead with sheep, cattle around. Mutton's a pretty big cattle animal here. You see a windmill not far off, and you do see a couple of like hamlets and bothies just sort of like dotted around. But after about an hour and a half of walking and scouting, you don't see anything much more, and nothing that's not abandoned. From here, though, the view of Ashissel is beautiful. You see a blue ocean stretching out, various islands kind of dotted around. It's a hot day. It's not unbearable, though, especially the higher up you get. There is a nice breeze. And Valis, you sort of smell that, and Ellie's like, smells like shit. And you know there's an animal or something living relatively nearby, which is confirmed when you find the sort of like a few bones in the undergrowth, I think with Ellie's assistance, of animals that have clearly been hunted here. There are characteristic teeth marks and on the bones, which let you know these have been chewed until chewed down from the meat, not necessarily just died of natural causes.
Okay.
I think with a little bit more investigation, you eventually are led to the mouth of a cave, which sits just beneath a waterfall, which kind of has like a sort of a grotto-like look to it. But through the waterfall, you can see that there is a space behind.
Under the waterfall?
Yep.
So, I assume it might be in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys have fought spiders.
Mm-hmm.
Owlbears are volatile, especially if they've got kids.
Mm.
Especially if they're in mating season. He nods at Ellie. So, can anybody speak to an animal?
That's a really good question.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to sign language this shit because they're pretty smart.
Sure, I cannot. A signal whistle. What is a signal whistle?
I don't know. Let's see.
Snakes. Bas is like, that's really cool, Ellie. We can't use that right now.
Mm-hmm.
He boops Ellie on the head like a snake.
I think that Yanel would say... no, they don't have it either. Yanel would say that I can't speak to an animal, Let me just look what Aelin said.
Kept away from the eggs.
Okay, cool. I think would say, but I can't speak to an animal. I could put one to sleep through magic.
What are we going to do then? Carry it?
I mean, it depends on what size it is. Yeah, that's true. Ellie, an owlbear would probably recognize a snake person, maybe as a predator.
Ooh. I might be able to make a net.
Okay.
Where is net? Where is net?
You guys kind
There
of
it is.
realize, you just sort of woke up and were like, we're going to save an owlbear, and sort of just wandered straight into the wilderness.
I'm not good.
Without thinking much about it. But that doesn't mean you can't figure something out. This is what
Wait.
Timothy is all about.
I have an idea, Emma.
What?
Okay. But we all sit in a little circle as we prepare our plans. So, we have the backup to put them asleep and drag them off. But when they wake up, they're probably going to be really angry and confused and want to go back. So, he holds up his sending stones. I can try and contact someone who can speak to animals. And we could loudspeaker them.
Who do you know who can speak to animals?
I don't think Ulster's going to pick up the phone. So, I need to consult his list.
Huh.
Do you have Valas's list of contacts?
No, I don't.
I do somewhere.
I think the other option, would put forward is they would say, it's not exactly perfect, but we could always block off this place so they can't return.
Yeah, but they still might try.
Mm.
So we need to get some kind of message to them. I'm trying to think. He can't really call Ulster, so who else does he know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to change the music because it's got lyrics.
That's fine.
I need to check something. Speak with animals.
Roland is a druid.
I don't have a contact for Roland.
But Oren, if you have something.
If you have something of Roland's, I can.
Ah! Are you okay? Sorry. Okay. As far as I know, I don't have.
I don't think.
It's a first level spell. Yeah.
I don't think I have a thing of Roland's. I don't think so.
Anything that you would have had that has come into contact with him.
The little loot, probably.
Do you have a band t-shirt?
It needs to be specifically his.
Okay. All right. Then I think would say if we're at a bit of an impasse, then maybe we need to reconsider this, back off a bit, and come back.
I could just call Gerald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, me as a player, I'm cognitively feeling it, the tiredness. I will. Tom is kindly making a tea, but I am. I woke up at 5 a.m. today.
Oh God! Why did you wake up at 5 a.m.?
Not by choice. It's been happening the last few days.
Oh, I know.
Anyway,
we'll finish before 3.
Yeah, we'll do this, and then this is going to lead into the next sort of part of the quest, which I want Ellen to be here for.
If a net will help this situation, Orion will create it. And that'll be
okay. How about this? Yeah. I think that Valis, you have Gerald's contact on speed dial just in case, and you guys can enter into the. I
think you should probably tell Gerald before, rather than telling him whilst we're getting attacked by an owlbear.
Potentially, yeah.
So before we go in, he'll just send a message like, "I need a favor."
Okay, you send Gerald a message, and there's like a pause. And then he says, I'm not leaving again.
No, it's not leaving.
Uh-huh.
How are you?
I'm very tired.
Sorry about that.
Up through the night.
Sorry about that. So I need a small favor from your esteemed magical self.
And what's that, Valis?
I want to talk to an owlbear.
An owlbear.
Well, I want you to talk to an owlbear.
I can talk to an owlbear. Put him on speakerphone.
Okay. We're trying to get them to leave because there are some Gur coming after them. They want to cut off its head. So we just want it to peacefully relocate.
All right. Do you have a bard with you?
Yes.
Okay. Put them on the phone.
Oran passes you the stone.
Okay. I need to listen very carefully.
Yes.
All right. Wait, Oran, we met. Okay, good. That makes this easier. All right. I'm going to teach you something. Are you ready? Just repeat after me. And he makes a series of intricate animal noises through the phone to you. But it's magical and esoteric. And you guys spend about 10 minutes or so doing this like back and forth together, seating outside. Yanel sort of like gets out a flask of tea and starts pouring it for everyone, breaks out the sandwiches. It's a beautiful day, and it's just narrated by you making animal noises. And he's right, okay. Now do it back. Do it back to me. Do it back to me. Okay, and as you do, you have learned because you are a bard, you can learn the spell. You have learned the speak with animals spell.
What?
And you can add that to your prepared spell list.
Oh my gosh!
For the day.
I mean, I've. Oh, okay. As in, for the day, I could like replace a spell with.
You can replace the spell later if you want to, but you can cast it today because he has taught you the spell.
Okay.
Over the course of 10 minutes, which is how long it would take for you to study a spell scroll anyway. So,
speak with animals. Yep. All right.
We're going for flavor here, just so that you don't have to backtrack and so that it's not frustrating, so that we can get through the adventure before you guys have to go to sleep.
Sorry, I see. Speak with animals and speak with animals legacy.
Just do the speak with animals legacy.
No, not legacy.
Yeah.
No, that's the 5e one, the original one.
They haven't replaced the spells, have they?
They have, but they've kept both spells.
They've
kept the old one and the new one, and you can choose which you prefer.
Master's silly.
Yes, but I prefer the older ones for some of the spells anyway. So, so yeah, you now learn speak with animals. You can choose whichever one, but I think legacy is probably just better because I know that spell a bit better. And we can look over them all properly another time. Anyway, so you are now able to cast speak with animals. He's like, pass it back to Valis.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. We have to have a chat, by the way.
Have a good day.
Something upsetting. Yeah, thank you.
Doreen told you something upsetting?
Apparently you sent her your will, Valis.
It's good to be prepared.
Yeah, all right, but we're having a chat. Okay, all right.
Did you not like what I left you in the will?
I didn't read it, Valis. It seemed private.
He hangs up.
And he doesn't. No one else can hear that. You're talking to each other. Anyway, you guys are able to proceed if you'd like to. So there is this sort of like pool in front of the grotto, and then there is the owlbear's actual hideout.
Well, now or never.
Okay, you walk up to it. That you'd have to walk through the water to get to the entrance. Is that okay?
Slish slosh.
You doing anything before you get there?
I think I will start. I will cast.
You guys step through the water. 1, 2, 3, 4. Valis,
we mean no harm.
You feel something click underfoot, and you hear it's the telltale signs of metal suddenly as you step on a bear trap.
Oh fuck.
And I need you to make me. Oh, actually, no. You just get the damage. There's no save. You have to check for traps.
Oh.
Okay. Although, dexterity saving throw.
Dex saving throw.
At my discretion.
25.
25, okay. 5, 9. You take 5 points of piercing damage as your foot just scrapes. You manage to pull your foot back and you stumble back and your foot just scrapes against one of the metal rungs and
He's
you
like,
start
holy
bleeding.
fucking shit.
Okay.
And you're like, fuck, Alice! Right, watch where you're stepping! And Yanel's going to try and cast sort of healing word on you. But the metal slamming together makes a resonant sound which carries through, and you see your blood just trickle into the water.
Okay.
And beyond the waterfall is like a movement. Valor. So you're kind of just like sitting in the on your ass in the water. Yanela's healing your leg.
I'm ordering pancakes.
Can I?
Do you want some?
Where are you ordering from?
Heavenly desserts.
Oh, maybe I don't want heavenly desserts.
I'm just getting pancakes.
No, I need to save my money. Okay. You hear some movement from beyond. What do you guys do?
Right, Oren, to the front.
Hello. Sorry about the big noise. We did not mean to make it, and we mean you no harm.
Okay, make me an animal handling check.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on. That's 15.
Did you know heal me, by the way?
Yes, Yanel's going to do a first level healing word. You get 6 points of healing back.
Nice. Back to full.
Perfect. But the blood is in the water. You say you mean you no harm. What did you roll on your animal handling check, please?
15.
15. There's emotion. And the water parts as a beak.
Oh, it's in the water. Lovely.
No, it's passing through the waterfall. There's like that grotto is behind the waterfall, which covers the entrance. And it peaks its head out, and it's smaller than you anticipated. It seems to be no taller than you, Valis, in height.
Okay. It's still pretty big.
Pretty big, but most
Teenager
owlbear. And it's got like it's molting its baby feathers and is starting to get its big ones. It shakes as the water kind of gets in its face. What are you doing here? You hear it say to you, Oren. The others you just hear
It's kind of cute.
It's asking what we're doing here. I said to the rest of them.
We're trying to save it because the girl are coming after it, so we want it.
I'll get you. I'll get you like I got the other one.
Oh, we wanted to try and save you from hunters who are coming.
No, you're going to get me. You're going to hunt me too.
What would it take to convince you otherwise?
You've got my mum. You guys got my mum. You're going to get me too. I've got to fend for myself. It ruffles his feathers.
I'm so sorry. Is your mum not around?
Jerks his head back to the cave. I smell blood. That's what you want, isn't it? Blood. My blood. I'm not going to let you take it. And he kind of spreads his wings and kind of caws at you aggressively. What do you do?
I will go down from standing position and I will just sort of like melt a little bit and just sort of be like, I mean you no harm. I'm so sorry this has happened to you.
We need to get them moving. So, what's a nice way of saying, if you stay here, they'll trap you in your cave and behead you. Can you translate that nicely?
Okay. As you do that, Ellie pulls out some pocket bacon jerky to kind of like pass to Oren as well, and gives it to you as a way to kind of try and get in their good books if you want to.
Do you eat bacon jerky?
They look really eager when they see it. And you kind of notice that there's no fish in this pool, and from the smell, like the dung smell that's kind of hanging around, the look of their feathers, they look a bit skinny for an owlbear. It seems maybe they've not eaten in a while, and they kind of eat and come out slightly, lumbering out of the cave, and then nibble the jerky from your hand, but then headbutt you back, trying to like keep you at a distance, not hurting you, but keeping you. Where do you want me to go?
We had a temporary disappearance, perhaps. I don't know if that's enough. Guys, is it enough for just like...
The food is helping, so...
If we can get them up to the mountains, it's a bit hard for people to traverse there, probably even go. But owlbears can fly.
I can fly.
So
Just get my strength up and get out of the tree cover.
Are you alright to leave this place temporarily?
What about those? And he points down to the traps. They're everywhere.
we can get them.
I can't get out.
Oh, we can try and find those and set those off. We already did one by accident.
I think what I want from Anna, what I want is a persuasion check with advantage.
A persuasion check with advantage. Alrighty. Let's try these two dice here. Persuasion, from the bad. Oh, it's very good that that's an advantage because one of them was a nat 1. That's an 18.
Valis looks at Ellie handing him food. Looks at you, Oren. Promise you won't let me get hurt by one of those things.
Do our best.
We'll do our absolute best. If anyone's going to get hurt right now from these traps, we're going to make sure it's not you.
He nods. Once I'm out of here, can you come back and hide my mum's body? I don't want them to take it.
Yes, we can do that. Its mum's body is in here, and it doesn't want us. It doesn't want people to find her body.
They smell like death, those guys, and I've seen what they do to some of my other mates.
I'm so sorry.
Let's get out of here then. And kind of slowly lumbers.
Wait, before they come out, can I do a perception to clear the traps?
You can, yeah.
18 plus 4, 22.
Okay. With a 22, Valis, when you kind of look around, you see one in the hedges, you see a net trap in the trees. They've been scouting this place for a while. Walking across the ground here, you'd have to be constantly alert to find something, like to find all the traps and disarm them all.
Good thing I have the alert for you.
Yeah. Oren?
I have an idea. You know the minor magical trick that novice spellcasters can apparently use for practice? Prestidigitation. I'm thinking creating a non-magical trinket that lasts for a round, essentially, that I can throw from my limb and try to set off traps ahead of us.
Yeah, okay, so you can kind of summon a little stone. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we could work together. If you make like thick, like almost rubbery bullets, I can shoot in all the traps and set them off.
Okay.
Ooh. I think a bullet,
and he's like, "Can you make something that looks like that?"
I think I would allow that, Oren.
All right. Yes.
Okay. So
Okay, quick, use it.
Okay, you set off the ones nearby Valis. I mean, I'm just going to say you're skilled with this. This is within your pay grade. And Yunel says, I can make it even easier for you. And they'll cast Find Traps, which lasts...
like, sick targets. He clicks it back and goes even faster.
Yeah, I was going to say, which will make this even easier for you. Let me just do one first level slot and find traps. There's a second level slot. It goes 120 feet and illuminates all the traps within that range. And so on. You guys carry through, and Yunel just says, just be careful, I can't find natural traps. Sinkholes.
Can I escort the owlbear if there's any natural traps carrying my perception?
Yeah, you kind of keep a hand on it. I imagine Snack and Abby Normal can also help trigger some of the traps that you can't get to whilst you're helping the owlbear. And you guys start walking out from the wilderness. Because I know we have to wrap up a little bit sooner than 3, I'm just going to say that after about an hour, you're able to take him up to the mountains. It's slow going because, again, you're going uphill, but also you're escorting him and making sure he's safe. And once you get to the reaches, you see that on a few peaks out in the distance, there are nests on the other side of the valley that you think are probably a bit safer. He may be on his own, and you don't know what will happen to him, but at the very least, he has a better chance than if he's sitting outside the Galannis family house. And he'll nuzzle you both and say, if I see you in peril in the wilderness, I'll swoop in. It's the best I can
Thanks,
do.
matey.
Yeah.
I think I would have cast it again in order to understand that he says that.
Yeah. It lasts enough, I think. I mean, I would say.
Oh, sorry, it lasts an hour. I
Mhm.
thought it said 10 minutes. Sorry. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay.
At which point, as you lose that spoken connection, let me just check what.
Good luck.
You ruffle his feathers and give him some food, Ellie. And as you ruffle his feathers, a few of them just kind of fly off naturally and land at your feet. And he says, your people want those, don't they? Suppose I can just... And he goes... and like a dozen or so feathers fly off him. He says...
It's very impressive.
Thanks.
I'll take those to Corvius.
And he takes flight.
I'm covering him. If anyone tries to shoot this guy, I'm shooting them.
You're like...
Nice.
But there is no interruption. You see him peacefully make it over the valley and towards the other sort of slightly wilder wilderness. And Janelle smiles and just says, I feel really good about that.
Vindicated. You feel vindicated, I think.
Yeah.
Doing good deeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted his mother's body to be hidden from
We'll do our best.
hunters.
He's safe, most importantly, and we can only try and honour his wishes.
Can collapse the cave.
Yeah. And you guys sort of make your way back.
If Ellie can Ellie make explosives at all?
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to narrate as you're thinking, Aylin. As you guys make it your way back down, going slower, more leisurely than before, get back to the cave's entrance. A catapult spell.
A catapult?
In theory, yeah, technically, yeah. Honey pea. You guys could make some stuff work.
I could line up some gunpowder if you cast catapult. Boom.
You guys can figure out how to make things go boom together. You sort of sit outside the cave for a sec, sort of just like setting up a couple of these projectiles.
First.
You want to look in the cave first? Yeah, Ellie, you kind of managed to dart your way in. I think if everyone's going in, you sort of come under the water and you see a hollow cave. The stone of a Shissel and Asana especially is sort of like off-white kind of chalk stone. You know that the integrity of this cave is probably not as strong as some, so you're hesitant about spending too much time here. There's leaf litter on the bottom that's fallen in through a hole in the roof, which makes a natural kind of skylight and illuminates the cave a bit better. There are stones here. You find really good pieces of chalk, actually, which are good for spell casting. But unfortunately, you do smell rot. And you come across at the back of the cave the mother owlbear, who is unfortunately starved to death back here, having not been able to get enough food and mainly given it to her cub. And Yanel says a little prayer over its body and says to Ellie, I don't think anyone will blame you if you take these feathers, if you're really desperate. Otherwise, I'm just gonna... And they start kind of like getting some of the leaf litter and sort of putting it on top of them. And as you guys are here, you hear a crack.
Should we go?
It's a crack as if like a footstep in the undergrowth.
Yeah, should we go?
As you're kind of doing that, you see a figure walk around the corner. It's not another owlbear, it's a person. And he stops dead when he sees you and says, don't shoot.
Who's that?
And you don't recognize this person. You see a man, from his colouring and clothes, he seems to be, a little bit like sort of sea roughed skin, simple clothing, practical clothing, padded at the knees. He seems to be a sailor up in the mountains. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And he has the characteristics of a half-orc, a slightly kind of like lower brow, closely shaved hair, and a sort of like smaller ears, quite tall. And he's holding up his hands, and in one of his hands he's holding a leaf.
What do you want?
I can explain. I know you said not to come here. He hesitates. You're hunters?
No.
I think Oran would put on a few dancing lights just to illuminate us. Kind of like
From the Galanis family.
Do we look like Galanises to you?
He lowers his hand but doesn't lower his guard. No. You don't.
We've only met some of them today, and they think we're working for them, but we don't like them, and we are not honouring their wishes to get this owlbear.
He gives you a peculiar look. Again, everyone who sees you for the first time and then hears you speak gives you a peculiar look. But he eventually gets over it and he says, you don't like them. Okay.
Have they wronged you?
I've been trying to get in here, but I haven't got any skill with animals and traps, really. He moves to the mouth of the cave and pokes his sort of hand out and points to a undergrowth, an outcrop, not far. Camped out back there, waiting for an opportunity and
To do what?
get in here.
And
Look for any sign of her.
hey. Oh, are you married to the girl? You're the husband, aren't you?
Oh,
He
I'm
grimaces.
so sorry for your loss.
No, it's fine. I thought there might be something of her here. And he kind of turns the leaf over and there's just a little bit of dried blood on it. I have no way of knowing, though, if it's...
What are you looking for?
It's, You don't like him?
No. Poor taste.
You helped that owlbear.
Yes.
You didn't kill it.
Of course not.
I can get you. I can get you a drink, a real drink, if you want.
What do you want?
It's not safe to talk here. I can take you to the shipyard and we can.
Mysterious. Let's go. He waltzes out of the cave.
Can I insight as to, like, does he seem like he is fully aware of his surroundings and is of sound mind?
Okay, make an insight check.
My pancakes are on the way.
Yummy.
And that is an 18. Another 18.
Pretty good.
Okay, let me just find you the. Where is it? Oh, I had a map.
A map?
Although actually not of this area. I haven't downloaded my map yet because I wasn't anticipating coming here so soon.
That's
Okay.
what the guy says to us.
He's like, oh, a map yet, guys, sorry. Okay, so he that's fine. He is he aware of his surroundings? Does he really know what's going on? He takes one step and it's into a sinkhole and he's like, oh shit. It's kind of pulls his foot out. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. He seems a bit out of his depth up here. And he'll lead you down towards the main city, but there is an inland river which has a because this is a sort of very island based location. Just as soon as there are mountains on the other side of those, there are kind of inland like shipyards. This seems to be a much smaller one than the main port you remember in Calcariat. It seems it's mainly fishing vessels here, and of course, Valis and Ellie, if you would know, this is a rife spot for any smugglers who would be wanting to sneak alcohol into this place. A shipyard like this, it would just be easily ignored. It seems to service the townspeople who live near the Galanis family manor with like fish, seafood, that kind of thing. But it is mostly, it is mostly forgotten. There are sailors here, not much tourism or anything like that. Not even academics have come this far out, really. He takes you to what appears to be the closest this place has to a tavern, which seems to be like a disused kind of like shipping area. Rather than holding boats, it's been set up as like a tap room. And of course, with a kind of like a look, you can tell this is exactly where you'd find some illicit alcohol. And he gets you all around of the sort of like of beer and brings it over and gives you each one. And he says, not much choice, sorry, but we're going to chat. We'll look more casual if we have a drink. Mm-hmm. And he just says, Jasper Phoenix Stowe.
Nice name.
I'm not from here. I'm from a prayer. Pretty far, but when you work with ships, you get around.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've toured there.
Yeah. I thought you might
what's
be.
his last name?
I heard you.
What's Jasper's last name?
Phoenix Stowe. So spelled like Phoenix and STOW, all one word.
Thank you.
And he says, Tara was, I don't know, she always stood out to me. It's not often you see someone smuggle so boldly. I guess she had her family's protection a bit, but I don't know, it was her boldness that made me fall in love with her, I guess. And I didn't really care that her family didn't approve. It seemed pointless to me. But she always had that sort of sad look about her when talking about them. She wanted, they're shits, honestly. But I guess a little part of you always wants your family's approval.
So,
Well, we got married, and it made her think it was time to maybe try and reach out.
I think cakes are here.
Okay, sure. I'll tell you. There's time to reach out. We don't make a lot of money,
Oh,
and for better or for worse, having her family to support us would have been good. They're rich. Those 3 kids are going to share a bit of a fortune between them. Well, modest fortune, at least to someone like me, it's big. I can't say to those big wigs down in High Solarian how much it would matter to them. And they said to reinitiate her, I guess. She had to go on a hunt. Her and her brother went out, and she didn't come back. And they didn't tell me. And I just thought she was gone. 10 days, a hunt. No, she never hunted when I was with her. How was I supposed to know there was anything wrong?
Did her brother talk about seeing?
They don't talk to me. They don't open the gates for me. And he says, I don't even know where she's buried. I don't have access to any of her things. We lived off our own backs. Weren't particularly sentimental, but she took her pack with her when she went. It's like she never even married me. It's like I've been alone this whole time. I just want to find her. Know where she's buried so I can pay my respects when I pass through. I will repeat all this information when Lily comes up in a less dramatic way, but I wanted to make sure you guys had the extent of it as well.
Thank
you. How's Ellie feeling about all this?
Yeah. I'm
yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like I don't have any like locate anything.
So I'll just really quickly wrap what he said. He said he's from a prayer. He married Tara, but she always felt upset by the fact that her family didn't approve. When they got married, she reached out to them because she wanted to try and turn over a new leaf. And as an initiation ritual, they said that she has to go on a hunt to rejoin the family.
Okay.
She and her brother Cassis went on a hunt, and only her brother came back. And when she died, he hasn't been able to see her. He doesn't even know where her body is buried.
Okay.
He has none of her. They lived off of their own backs because they were smugglers, and they went out to the shipyard and worked in there. So he doesn't really have any of her items either. She took it all with her, and he wants to at least know where she's buried to pay their respects. He also said that part of the motivation for rejoining the family was because they were struggling making money, and they have a sizable fortune, a third of which would go to each child. Maybe sizable for him being a ship hand, but not sizable for.
So he doesn't have anything that belongs to her either.
He doesn't have anything that belongs to her except the ring that's hanging around his neck, which is his own.
His own ring.
Yeah, and when Ellie says, who do I need to suplex? He smiles and he just says, my mates have tried to... Owlbear feathers, yeah. He'll take them and say, thank you. Yeah, my mates have tried to help, but we can't do much without risking exposing what we're doing. And I don't want to put them in a difficult position. We all need to make money.
How do you have confirmation that she's dead?
Do you think she might be alive?
I'm just saying, if you haven't seen a body.
I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, maybe they're holding her.
I will say, what's his name? Cassis. He seemed just annoyed at us rather than torn up that his sister died. And apparently died
Recently.
in front of him, you know?
Yeah, he was just in a bad mood. He didn't seem devastated or anything.
So either very suspicious or extremely cold-hearted.
Yeah.
He would have been the last person to see her alive before she rejoined the family.
Well, they said that she was buried in the family mausoleum.
You think that... I don't know where it is. They won't tell me.
I reckon we can find it.
What if
Not
we
that
ask
fake
for our
head.
respects? Oh no. If she's alive, then they wouldn't take us there. Okay.
All right.
But if she wasn't, then we would know.
Alive or dead, I want to know.
Yeah.
I can't let myself hope.
I'm sorry to talk about this as if it's a this or that.
He shakes his head. No, I understand. I just... Let's just... find out. I can come with you, but they've always barred me entry to anywhere they're involved with.
Why don't we say you helped us kill the owlbear? Get out the fake head. Get inside. Baz has ordered pancakes, by the way. He's just eating while she's talking. And then, once they're, happy they've got their stupid head, we try and find the mausoleum or any other suspicious areas of the house.
Sounds good.
Fake head. All right.
Yunel looks pissed and is like, just fuck him up.
Yeah, let's fuck them up. Right, you are. These pancakes have strawberries on them. Do you want them?
Yeah. Oh.
He kind of puts them on a different plate for you.
And he says, well, if we're going to fuck him up, there are fewer hands there in the morning, fewer eyes. They go on early hunts, 5 a.m. till 10. And I mean, just the core family is there.
Okay.
We come back in the morning and I'll meet you outside.
Yep. Sounds like a plan.
And I think you guys would have known they weren't readying to go out on the hunt for the owlbear immediately. It looked like they were doing a bit of work on the High Solarian, so you don't think it's time sensitive to sort of show that the owlbear's gone necessarily. Okay. And it's nearing the end of the day now that you've done all of this. So anyway, if you like, he offers you rooms up in this inn. It's a bit small, but you could pile in all together, or you could go back to the High Solarian.
I think Alex wants to go back to his room. He looks really sleepy.
Okay. I'm going to say, just with a confirmation that you'll see each other in the morning, you guys head back to the High Solarian. You can separate off as you like to. But Valis, if you're looking sleepy, Yunel will sort of give you a look over and make sure your leg is all right and check you out.
He's like, we're going to talk,
Wait, Valis says that?
Yeah. He's like, I haven't forgotten.
Okay, wait. So
we don't have to do this scene now because I haven't forgotten.
He nods and says, all right, let's have a chat.
Come morning, spill the beans.
That was my tummy.
Oh.
Oh.
Would you like a bite of pancake?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, open your mouth.
They're going feral.
Oh, yum.
More pancake.
Really good. You guys all head.
Stationary storage. That was just sorry. I put a pen in the thing.
Valis, before you go to sleep, you go to make yourself like a cup of, get yourself some water.
Water.
To help to just have. And you notice Corvius actually has stayed up. And when he sees you, he closes the book he was reading and says, Valis.
Rams.
Really quickly. Some time ago, you contacted me.
Oh, yeah.
With regards to the Lady of Lost Shah. Well, I apologize it's taken this long, but academics and free time. Just wanted to let you know what we found, and I'm perhaps asking where your head is at with regards to this. So I'm sure you are aware, unless you're not, because you did ask me. Shah's domains are that of loss, memory, and death.
Death.
Hence the name Lady of Loss. It's not known, I say, how she chooses her followers, if they are chosen at all, that is, that they may choose her. Except, of course, that like most who follow deities, some more devout followers are granted favour through magic.
How much room?
Well, I just compiled what I have here and passes over a small, just like a one-page sheet with all the information he's kind of like noted down.
You got all reading.
She also is known to represent the domains of darkness and trickery. I would say if you're dealing with Sharans, to deal with them cautiously and perhaps not associate when possible.
How do you recommend telling someone to stop being a Sharan?
Well, it's hard because generally the cult of Shah was known to operate in cells. As opposed to being a huge aggressive organization, there's not really one aspect, one person you can go to take responsibility for recruiting whoever has been recruited or whoever it is you're talking to.
But it's not a good organization to be part of, is it?
Is a deity good or bad? It's hard to say.
Yeah, like Shah is bad, obviously.
Shah is alternative.
Bad.
I wouldn't choose them.
You're being too correct. Shah is a bad deity. There are bad deities out there.
This is true, I suppose. Look, a prayer to Shah.
Like Loth is really bad. Shah is really bad.
A prayer to Shah would go something along the lines of, Blessed Night Singer, witness our adoration, see how we serve you and only you. Emptying our hearts of falsehoods, we have vanquished your foes. In darkness we see your truth. Embrace us, your loyal warriors, cloak us in your shadow and guide us to victory. Shah's will shall be done as sure as night will fall.
What is Shah's will?
You mentioned benightenment to me. I have absolutely no idea what that is. None of my academics know either.
But historically, what does Shah want?
Historically, her followers have sought to recruit those who find comfort or find themselves in despair and darkness. I suppose.
To what purpose?
She used to hold other domains. The domain of magic, for one. It was taken from her by Mistra and then sort of divvied out to other deities in pieces when Mistra's power waned. if I was having a guess, a deity who has lost their domain would probably want to find a way to get it back.
So
Finding followers is a way to do that. Deities are only as strong as their followers.
power hungry.
Perhaps. I can't say for certain. I think perhaps the key to finding out what she wants might be finding out what this benighted is.
So, say I took Sharon's personal journal, prayer book, and read it. Do you think they'd be upset?
Wouldn't anyone? Who worships Shah of Alice? You can tell me.
I can't tell you. It's not me. I don't worship anyone.
That is clear. If you find yourself in the presence of a Sharan, I must let you know that some may not look upon them kindly.
So it'd be 100% better that they just stopped being a Sharan.
You can't just take away someone's source of comfort. It has
But
to
it's
be...
a bad source of comfort.
My suggestion would be to wean them onto something else.
Like what?
Another deity.
I don't understand. I mean, I respect that people want to have their deities and they want to follow stuff to make them feel better. But it's so controlling.
But was this person ever religious before?
No.
Then why did they become religious?
Because they're sad.
Well, then perhaps addressing the cause of their sadness is how to save them.
I can't be in control of people's happiness.
You can't. But I can perhaps help you organise counselling for them, if I know who it is. Unfortunately, though, if their circumstances are so dire, it may require external efforts to help them see happiness again.
Okay, I'll talk to them. Because I can't give you permission to do these things or to know who it is. It's not my secret. Unless I thought they were in immediate danger.
It's Yanel, isn't it?
No. Deception check.
No.
18 deception.
Apologies, maybe I assumed. They just seem to fit the bill, considering, well, all things considered.
You don't know, Oren could be super depressed.
Yes. You never know. Let's say it were. Perhaps Oren just needs some guidance. You seem close to him. Perhaps there is comfort to be found in your friendship and your proximity, and with some medical assistance as well.
He blows out a long breath. Alright. I'll try. Just don't think I'm really the best source of, serotonin at the moment. So
No, you're all right.
yeah, I'm fine. I just tend to make other people quite unhappy, I've noticed. So
And how does that make you feel, Valis?
I don't want to have therapy, old man.
Why don't you drink your water and go back to sleep then?
Bold of you to think this is water.
If it's not water, not allowed that in a chisel.
Fruit juice?
It's definitely water, mate.
Are you lying?
He takes a really long drink, finishes the cup, is like, nah, you'll never know, puts it down and
He
leaves.
picks up the cup, puts his finger in.
He
Valis!
runs away.
Okay. You'll go to sleep. And
I have a medical permit.
rest for the night.
If I just for a comedic interlude, Oren may be up a little late and then returning to bed in front of Corvius says to itself, "Why does death follow me around?" And just like
Corvius is like, Sharon. Sharon, you are.
Anyway, hi, Corvius. Good night.
Wonderful. Brilliant. And with that, I think we'll leave our session there. Not tomorrow, on the 17th, you guys will head to the Galanis Manor, having agreed to meet Jasper there. You will resolve this quest, hopefully. And Erwen will be able to join you with her new necromancy magic powers. Maybe be able to help talk, figure out what's happened to his wife, Tara.
I've now seen an owlbear, so I can.
You've now seen an owlbear, guys. Cute.